This is a tour of Agnes Elizabeth Docherty's home done on the 25th of January, 1998. This is how her house looked in the late 1950s. This is how her home looks today. Looking from a different angle, here we see the tree that John Docherty planted when he was a young boy. You'll see this grown into quite a spectacular tree. Here you can see the back of Grandma's apartment building, a 2-unit complex. Here we are walking up to the back of the house. When the house was originally built, this porch that we see now was actually a carport. And right by the carport, right toward the rear, was a coal chute, which was used to heat the house from 1925 till approximately 1940, as well as the fireplaces that are inside. On the side of the rear entrance here, now covered by siding, used to be a ice chute for the ice box that used to be delivered. Now we enter the kitchen. First thing a lot of us think when we enter this kitchen is this table that's in the center, and we think it looks better if it has a giant turkey on it. A turkey that could feed about 25 people. That's the way a lot of us remember it. Some rather large cupboards, very high. The sink, a lot of people think of John Docherty standing by that sink helping to wash dishes, clean dishes, dry dishes, as well as lots of other members of the family. Also seeing him getting ready to carve that turkey that most of us look at that table and think of. Right behind the refrigerator was, again, that entrance for the ice, when it used to have an ice box, before there was actually a refrigeration unit. There's some of Agnes's favorite sayings. Pictures on the wall. in the gas range. Agnes talked about how it took the workers so long to get that in the house. When she finally suggested that they take the box off to get it through the door, they took her recommendation and got it right in. Getting very tall cabinets. Going to the breakfast nook. Clothes chute. Swing around and take a look at the breakfast alcove. There's a kitchen witch. And there's a first floor bathroom here. Turn the light on there. See some things a little bit better. There's a bunch of dancing raisins in display. All made famous by that commercial. First time people really know about claymation. Agnes loved those things. Thought they were cute. Okay. Right. This is the view of the front entrance from the breakfast alcove. And open the door to the basement and go down and make sure you get a complete tour. It's a place where a lot of ping pong was played. Here's a ping pong table. See, it's more substantial than the ones they make today. And just standard storage of items. Kind of interesting that this basement at one time also served as the coal storage area. And we'll head over to where the coal actually came down the chute and was stored to keep the house warm during the winter months. You see all kinds of craft items. And laundry area. Keep everything nice and tidy. Kind of interesting to see this very old stove and range unit. You see it's a gas unit. It was used for an extensive period of time in the house. And a much more modern furnace system. And this is another storage area down here. This is what was actually, I believe, used as the coal storage area. The coal chute entered this room from up there, and when deliveries were made, it would come down and fill up the room or provide as much coal as they felt they needed. In that room, There's more storage in the back area. And this is actually where the Christmas tree is. And some other items. Good for storage. And we'll go back upstairs. Where things are probably a little more interesting. Here we go from the kitchen into the dining room. Here we have a lot of glassware, storage, and a cabinet built in. Let's think of a lot of different items on top there. During the holidays, everybody could get something to eat. And table, and then we'll get a look out on the porch, out toward the garage. And here's actually the door entrance. Good place to spend a summer afternoon out there. Some of the screens get a breeze blowing through. Here's Agnes when she got married in 1925. Some wedding pictures of family members. And another cabinet for storage of china, dinnerware. Also some cards placed in there as a reminder of the holidays. See a happy birthday balloon. So we're from last birthday in September. You can see the sun coming out. Things look pretty good. Here's a picture of Agnes from the 1950s. And some other items displayed. And we'll just continue on around. Move through the hallway. Here we are looking back at the breakfast nook. Just take a look at some of the pictures on the wall here. Ron Doherty and Carol. An item Agnes made in 1990. Pictures tucked into the mirror. And some more pictures down here. Continue on around. Look upstairs. See some of the stuffed animals. Some of the pictures on the way down. You can hear a little guy. This house has heard a lot of the little guys.
Shh. Come on, let's go and see Sir Topham Hatt. Come on. Come on, sweet pea. He hears you. Come on. Shh, 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 shh. Come on. Shh, 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 shh. Come on, let's go this way. Let's go this way.
There's another item that Agnes made. Butterfly. Some other pictures displayed. notes. There's the front entrance. There's grandfather's clock that Grandma purchased in the mid-1980s. Something else that Agnes made. Shows her handiwork, craftsmanship. And we'll go upstairs before we come back and do the living room and the sunroom. Take a look at some more pictures. And take a look back down the stairs toward the entryway. A lot of people love that old banister. And come over to the desk with more pictures. Back to the picture of the house that we started with. And we go up a few steps. And we'll be up to the first bedroom. See the upstairs bathroom. This is what Agnes calls a back bedroom, because it's to the rear of the house. Actually, in a second we'll look out over the garage. And you can see some pictures in here. And take a look out over the garage just for a second. Get an idea of the view and also get a better shot of that tree that John Doherty planted. You can see that it is quite large. Hard to imagine him planting that as a young boy and watching it over the years grow into the tree that you see today. I get another view of the back of Agnes's apartments. 2 units. And we come back into the back bedroom. Look at a few more pictures. And a bed there. Now that's a picture made in the late 1960s. Included Agnes's daughter and 2 sons and their families. It's a clothes chute there. And come back out in the upstairs hallway and take a look at what was Rosemary's bed at the time. Bedroom. A very bright room with the 3 windows and the sun shining and the light wallpaper. And we're looking back across the upstairs hallway to the master bedroom. And as you can see, displayed on this table, it's another picture of the house. And actually, you can tell that the picture was taken as a Christmas greeting card in 1958. During a good-sized, or at least after a good-sized snowstorm. Certainly makes many people think of Christmas. This home with snow. And we're ready to go back across the hallway and take a quick look at the upstairs bath. I actually have a baby picture taken when I was about 6 months old, where I was actually taking a bath in that sink. I think if I tried to take a bath in that sink today, we'd have to get a new sink. And then the shower. And we'll head back out in the upstairs hallway and go into the master bedroom. And we'll start over here. So look back. The dresser. And a picture. You see there? And back across. Look out the window. On the street. Another picture. And over to Agnes's desk, where she did much of her correspondence and paid her bills. See a number of pictures there. There's Agnes's husband, Russell. A picture of her granddaughter, Joni, made in college. And continue on around. This room was actually at one time split into 2 bedrooms. The boys had one side, and Agnes and Russell had the other side. Actually, that was after Russell passed away, so it was just Agnes on the other side. And continue on around. See the air conditioner ready for the summertime. And here's a picture of Rosemary when she was very young. On around to the dresser. And a few more pictures here. That pretty much completes the upstairs.
When John and I were very young, we slept in this room with our parents, and they had a double bed here in the middle of the room, and I believe John's bed was down at this end towards 2nd Street, and my bed, I believe, was up here on this side. And then, of course, as we got older, they built a wall in here that went pretty much right down the center of the room, and there was a door. There was a kind of a V in here, and then there was a door to get into this bedroom and a door to get into the right bedroom. And John and I slept in twin beds over here on the 2nd Street side, and Mother and Dad slept over on the other side, away from 2nd Street, in their double bed, so that they still had those 2 closets there. And I had a closet here at the end of the hall, and John had a closet in the middle of the divided area. And that's the way it was until eventually we both finally left home, got married and left home, and by that time Dad had passed away, and Mother had the dividing section taken out, and the bedroom then was returned to one single large bedroom the way it was in the beginning, and that's the way it's been ever since. To show you how little, in some ways, my mother ever changed this house since my dad died, 50 years ago, really. 50 years ago in a couple of weeks. When Dad was still alive, he smoked cigarettes. And he would come in here in the bathroom and probably read, I guess. And he would sit here on the john while he was in the bathroom, and he would pull this drawer open here. And he used this as an ashtray, this drawer. And he would lay his cigarettes down here on the side, and as you can see, both of these drawers on the side are still burned with those cigarettes that he used this drawer for and all that time. And she's never changed that. She's left it exactly like that, like it was the way he left that drawer. So that's, I thought maybe you'd get a kick out of seeing that.
Okay, just came out of the master bedroom. And I'm going to take a quick trip up into the attic. It's a little cooler up here. Most of the insulation seems to be between the attic and the top floor.
Yeah, the attic up here has never been heated.
Could be turned into living space.
It could be finished. As a matter of fact, there are some design plans in the house here someplace where my mother and dad had plans to really finish this attic, so for a bedroom for John and I, for separate bedrooms for John and I, as we were getting older. Of course, he died when I was 15 and John was 14, so they never really got around to doing that. But the plans were, as I recall them, to build 2 dormers up here in the roof facing the 2nd Street, and then to build a bedroom on each side of this stairway and finish this. And it could be finished into 2 nice bedrooms, but in the meantime, that just never got done because Dad died. And what's up here in all these boxes and things, who knows? I mean, I suppose some of this stuff has been here for 30, 40, 50 years, for all I know. Obviously, we're going to have to go through all this stuff and see what's here, but I really don't know what's here. The doors that are here, down here at the end, which is awfully dark, I don't know if you can see it on that camera. Those doors, I think there are 4 doors there. There should be. They were between in the foyer as you come into the front door. Yeah, there are 4 doors here. Between 2 of them are in the living room side of the foyer, and 2 of them are on the dining room side of the foyer. And they're still here. They're still in the original wood finish, the dark wood finish. They've never been changed. They were taken off some years ago. I don't know exactly when. It was probably, I would guess, in the 50s maybe. And they've been brought up here, been here ever since. Well, what's up here? Who knows? I mean, it's just sort of been a mishmash. It's a large attic. It goes the entire length and width of the house.
It is a very large space.
And so there's a lot of space up here.
See Agnes's diploma, high school diploma over there.
Yeah, there's a Massa High School. But his diploma is here. I guess I'd forgotten that was even here. Matter of fact, Agnes Elizabeth Arnold. And the date of it is June 11th, 1919. Signed by, I can't read who it's signed by, the president of the school board. Superintendent's name. Looks like York. And then the principal of high school, somebody named Gorell, I guess.
Wonder how good of a football team they had.
I don't know. That was before the days of Paul Brown, so maybe they hadn't gotten. Although that goes back a long ways. That the McKinley-Massillon rivalry goes back to I think maybe 1900. So they were already playing probably pretty competitive football by then.
I believe that's true. She talked about how they played on a field in the Depression as you drive into Massillon on the right side near a shopping center.
Right.
Now.
That's right.
And they had to walk, I guess, a good distance from the school to get there.
That's right. Well, that was a long way from the school. And of course, that's how they got a lot of places in those days. Maybe that's why those people were more sturdy than some of our younger people.
I think that's true.
They had to walk a lot of places. They didn't even have cars when she was a young girl. Nobody had a car then, of course, when she was real young.
There's
Anyhow,
a lot.
and, of course, this is where, for many, many years, we had Christmas trees that were right in this corner. As I'm sure everybody in the family remembers. And, I don't think there was ever a Christmas when Mother was alive that, at least as far as I can recall, when her three children didn't return for Christmas. That we came from everywhere. No matter where we worked, we came home for Christmas. I know Carol and I came from San Antonio, Texas, one year when I had gone into the Air Force, and we drove up here 3 days each way, because there weren't any interstates at that time. And I think, and other people made a real effort to get here. It was one of the things you just felt obligated to do, and you knew Mother wanted us here, so we came here. And then this porch out here was, of course, when we were younger, was open. It was never screened in or had the windows and the shades that it has in there now. Well, she did that in later years. I'm sure that was done long after my dad passed away in '48. Well, we had a lot of good times in this living room over the years. She was proud of the fact she spent 73 Christmases in this house.
That's a lot of Christmases.
Of course, I've told this story, but she told it many times. She and my dad built this house in 1925 before they got married. And once they had the house finished, then they got married, and the day they got married, they moved into the completed house. And that was on September 25th, 1925. And when I say the house was completed, the area certainly wasn't completed. This Montrose Avenue out here was the westernmost street in Stark County. Raff Road, which is a well-known street in Stark County, was not constructed at that time, nor was any street between here and Whipple. And to show how far this was out in the suburbs, in the sticks in those days, when they moved into the house, electric hadn't gotten here yet, and they had to use oil lamps for light for, I think, 7 or 9 months. After they moved in, they had no electricity in the house, so they had to use lights with oil. So anyway, and then over here in this other corner where the piano is, I don't remember, I really have no recollection of any time when that piano wasn't there. I know it was purchased for our sister Rosemary, who took piano lessons for a number of years, but I don't remember it not being there. So I think it has to have been there since probably we were 10 or 6 or 8 or something. It must have been there 50, it's probably close to somewhere between 50 and 60, 55 and 60 years by now. I think it used to be facing this direction, but it's always been in that corner. Before that piano was there, it was in the depths of the Depression. I was born in 1932, and my brother John was born in 1934. And for whatever reasons, I never really knew for sure whether it was monetary or simply because Mother didn't get to the hospital. But although Rosemary was born in a hospital, both John and I were born in this house, physically born in this house. And I believe in the corner where the piano is where we were actually born. There were all this. I always remember this room at Christmas time. Even as a kid, it was always decorated. My mother loved to decorate and was very, very artistic and handy with decorations. And she would decorate the mantle, for example, and really made the whole room look festive. She always loved Christmas. She always loved Christmas time.
Sure see a lot of
You can
people.
still see some of it here. She still hasn't taken Carol and I put that wreath up there this year. And that's a real, those branches on that wreath are real. And of course, she's left it up there. And I don't suppose she could have gotten it down anyhow. And I didn't take it down because it still looks in pretty good shape.
Sure does.
But we put that up there again this year. And well, the branches, they're a little brittle by now. I see a few pieces that fall on the mail. But she always loved the Christmas holidays.
That's a beautiful fireplace.
Yeah.
Always had a fire going during the holiday.
Yeah, we used to almost always when the Christmas day here, when we had the Christmas parties and Christmas dinner, we always had a fire. She cooked Christmas dinner for the whole family. Of course, the family grew over the years and got to the point where there were probably at least 20 or more people, 25 people here for dinner. And until she was well into her 80s, I think it was at least to her middle 80s, she did absolutely all the work herself. She cooked everything herself for all those people and had a Christmas dinner here. And then as she got toward the middle 80s, the daughters-in-law and her daughter, of course, helped by bringing a vegetable dish or some other dish. But she still cooked the turkey and the dressing and made the gravy even up until she was 90 for that whole group of 20 or more people.
She sure loved to cook.
Yeah, she did. She was a great cook. Maybe that's why I'm a little heavier than I ought to be.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, she was a great cook. This room out here, she always called the sunroom.
Uh-huh.
It's off the living room towards Montrose, and this room is when we were kids in the wintertime was closed off because it was not heated, and there was a doorway across here between the living room and this room, and it was cold out here, and their food items were stored out here in the wintertime. I can't remember exactly what, but there were things stored out here because it was cold, and there's no basement under the floor in this room. And I can remember the first time we got a TV set, I crawled into a crawl space down the basement, crawled under here, and fished a cable wire line underneath here, ran it up through the floor so we could hook the TV set up. And that's where the TV is pretty much, I think every TV set we had was always out here. And Mother in her last year spent almost all of her time in this room. She liked to be in this room. The TV's here. Of course, the TV these days is hooked up to cable, has been for a number of years, and she spent all of her time out here.
It's a comfortable room.
It is. I remember Grandpa Arnold. Of course, he lived with us for a number of years. My mother's father, my grandfather Arnold, who lived with us, and it was a railroader, retired. He spent almost all of his hours, the last numbers of years of his life, out here watching what was kind of an early or rudimentary TV set. It was certainly not very advanced at that time. I remember the TV set being out here, and I remember Grandpa Arnold sitting in a chair over here in the corner facing 2nd Street and watching that television set hour upon hour. And that was his pastime. And so he spent the last years of his life in this room, as well as my mother. My mother spent most of her time in this room in the last, decade, I guess.
It was interesting that just a couple weeks before Christmas, she rearranged the furniture in here.
Yeah, she did. Imagine that, at age 99.
Said it took her all day, and she was exhausted, but she did it.
Yeah. Well, that was my mother. She was fiercely independent, and if she thought there was any way she could do something, she would not ask for help. If she thought she could do it, she didn't see why she'd have to get help from anybody else. And so that's exactly the kind of thing she would do. Of course, both John and I always volunteered to do anything that needed to be done, but anything she thought she could do, she just would do it, including cleaning out the gutters up here in the top on the roof. She was observed up in her middle 80s out here on the roof, up above this room, cleaning out, and where she had crawled through a bedroom window. I think she had to be at least 85. Crawled through a bedroom window on hands and knees, across the roof, and where she got to the edge where she could clean the leaves out of the gutter, as if nobody else in the world would help her do it. But she just didn't want to ask. She felt she could do that, and as long as she could do anything, that's what she did. And that's, I suppose, part of that is what made her be 99. If you're that independent and you feel like you can manage your own affairs, that's what you do, and that's how you get to be 99.
I think there's an awful lot of truth to that. You can see the view out to the road. It's still brick paved. Do you remember when they put the bricks in?
No, those bricks have been there since we were little kids. At one time, I think they actually put blacktop on top of all the brick roads around here. And then in more recent years, they scraped that the tire would melt in the heat of the sun.
Say hi to everybody. Wave. Hello. Wave.
What you doing, bud?
Okay.
That's Daddy. He's taking your picture.
I'll take your picture.
You're in your little stool.
Hi.
Bye.
Yeah, it does. That's who that is.
Where's Gavin? Who's Gavin? You Gavin? Where's Aunt Joni?
Hey, I'm right here. Hello.
Say Uncle Bill. There's Uncle Bill. There's Cousin Chris. Where's Andy? That's Chris. Where's Andy?
Where's Andy?
Where's the dog on your shirt?
That's right.
Where's your nose?
That's right.
Where's your head? Where's your chin?
Where's your cheek? You know your cheek and you know your ear.
Where's your ear? Where's your teeth? You like teeth?
This isn't enough, Daddy.
He's done.
He's gonna charge $2 for a
Look
dollar.
at that, he won't let go of that bottle. Not hugs or no.
He's got that bottle.
Hug! What a good boy.
You good boy.
Who you gonna head next?
Right there.